Won't worry about the back. You can just get that. It's exactly what I told you this morning. We're not going to do anything complicated. The only thing you're going to get that is different to what I told you is links to that wheel. Okay, you pull in whichever one. There's no rifle drill involved, you've just got to carry the thing over your shoulder, that's it, right? Okay. Okay then, listening girls. Achtung! Abteilung! Stillgestanden! Getting that way, Abteilung! Links! Im Gleichschritt! Marsch! Links! 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 2, 3, 4, links! Alright. At the same time as the number 3 rushing forward. One of you, Bill, you'll go that side. Grant, you'll go this side.
On the right leg of the tribush next time then,
okay? Number 2. And then you squat down and squat. Yeah, well, kneel down then. That's it. And then you're in ready to hand the ammunition boxes further forward. Who do we hand the ammunition boxes to? Well, we're not going to do that. No. Wait for the command. Okay. Load. Fire. Cease firing. Unload. I think this is really formal things. Well, I think the best idea if you all form back out, just form on the bench. Well, if we come out the arena first, let me all score. Liquidate someone. Gonna get someone. It's okay, Are we going, Joe? Okay, go on. Flames taken on. Yeah.
opposed to the so you can imagine warfare from the year 1917 to 1918. On the right-hand side, carrying the lance, were the Canadian cavalry troops.
Yes, hello.
In the minds of the generals of the period. 1914, 1915, the tank had not yet been invented, was still in the future. As the generals believed that if their infantry to break through to the green fields beyond. The Canadian cavalry troops are now demonstrating the use of the lance, charging with a sword. You can imagine a cavalry regiment, 3 to 4, even 500 men strong, galloping knee to knee with the sword, just as you've seen. Very, very impressive, very frightening. But if you're armed with a machine gun, you'll soon stop that. Now the American firing mounted with his Browning pistol. Again, another military development, giving every advantage to the defender, not the attacker. And now the Canadian and the American charge together with a sword. Troops like you can see on the display field now, in reserve for the breakthrough into the green fields beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the American and the Canadian cavalry of the First World War. Give them a round of applause, please. Come on, give them a chair. Much on its way out as a battlefield tactic, charge, but in fact the last British cavalry marching into the arena, infantry of the German Imperial Army. These soldiers absolutely it was large, the French, British.
Shot both the Oscar and the ballista. Keep your eyes carefully on the Oscar. Don't throw up. Gentlemen, Roman artillery.
Hold it.
Keep an eye on the airborne, boys.
The fact that it's now beginning to get a little dark means that these are in the gloaming. Superb display. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Just while the Romans are leaving the field, just the usual housekeeping announcements with the parents of Cavalry. Please pick him up from the WRDS crutch. No need to panic, Connor is quite relaxed. Okay, but just let his parents back.
And ladies and gentlemen, we also have another technical advance in the First World War. The Wright brothers, at the turn of the century, invented the aeroplane. In 1914, there were a few aeroplanes used for spotting large air forces. And it'll be very soon, I'm told, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be seeing an example of a British aircraft from the First World War that will do a flypast. no fly past. I'm sure they'll come round again. These aircraft would be common over the Western aircraft. It wasn't the RAF at this stage, but it was still part of the Army Air Corps. And now, ladies and gentlemen, would you give a large round of applause for our American allies? In fact, they considered it to be a purely European war, and they did not want to get involved.
Yeah, maybe when they come back.
But as the war progressed,
Yeah, but they're going
the
out that way.
Germans unleashed submarine warfare, sunk many American ships. The Americans were drawn into the combat. You can see American soldiers here, lying prone with their rifles. They are wearing the 1917 uniform with their 1917 American copy of the British helmets. You see the aircraft flying over yet again. American riflemen now opening fire upon an imaginary enemy hostage. They were modern weapons, so any ideas of cavalry charges or rushing the enemy across open fields, you can forget about it. And once again the aircraft come in, ladies and gentlemen. The British SE-A-5s. By 1918, over 2.5 million American troops had come to Europe, and there was another 2 million training stateside in America, and they made a massive difference to the war in 1918. The Germans had beaten the Russians in 1917, and they had withdrawn millions of men from their eastern front over to the western. The British and the French army managed to hold and stabilise the German offensive, but it was the reform of mechanised troops, troops being moved by truck, artillery being drawn by trucks, and it was the beginning of the end for the horse in warfare. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause for the nobles of the American Army in 1917, our gallant American allies.
Too far away, did you say?
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we can see troops of the German. Russian troops in 1916 uniform being followed by the troops of the British machine guns.
Right, I think we'll unlimber it here. We're going to have to do it the hard way.
What's the hard way?
By hand.
Unless you can get some air spotting, and obviously in this weather, air observation is limited. Also, so here we see an Allied patrol coming in. So 1,000 Germans while all the guns are blazing. It doesn't really work in a team.
Okay.
And with the advantage dict, of course. Now these are British airborne troops who are the Viking squadron. Normally have rather more jigs than this, but a bit of a problem at the MT pool, and supplies are slow coming across the beach in the bad weather. So they're only running one, everybody else is on foot. And there's the other German machine gun, the MG-42. It's the German infantry infantry squad, the machine gun, the MG42 or the earlier 34, was, if you like, the captain of the squad. That did the main execution, and so the rifleman's job, principally, to support the MG42 and to advance into the ground which the MG42 would clear. And obviously, of course, the defenders would keep their heads down when the bullets of that fire were coming about their ears. That's the whole purpose, really, of the machine gun in assault. Keep the defenders' heads down while your own infantry, in most cases, the machine gun is out to the flank. Small arms and machine guns, not quite the same story. We've got artillery. Now, the springs again, with the half track being disabled, we're now in a situation where the Germans have reinforced. Now it's all right when we're fighting from inside a nice armoured wet vehicle, but you'll notice the Germans are now getting closer and using grenades. If anybody gets close enough to put a grenade in that crew space, it's all over for anybody inside. And so they've pulled back, not without using the radio, of course. And here goes the Jeep. Germans are actually running to disable two vehicles and driven the Allies, the American Allies, away from them. And Cavalry actually is a nickname, it means trucking car. It's actually the military version of the Volkswagen Beetle. Unlike the American Jeep, where you got chocolate was to get wounded. It's worth thinking about it. And here's the other vehicle the Germans made much use of, the motorcycle combination. Now, what do the Allies got on their sleeve now? Clearly the Germans have spotted something. They're not advancing towards the house. They're staying there. Oh dear. Did I mention air superiority? There we are, the most famous aircraft shape in history. Look at Super Marine Spitfire. And now they have air superiority. The Allies are going to have another go. And again, more superiority, more mobility. Here's another half track. And supported by infantry. This half track, you'll notice, has a rather nifty little turret on the back. This is an anti-aircraft thing. This has twin 50 caliber anti-aircraft machine guns, which can of course be used in the ground role as well. We don't have to worry too much about using them in the anti-aircraft role. The Allies have total air superiority, and that Spitfire up there is just around to make sure. They will be in air-to-ground contact. In support of the half-back, the second half-back of American infantry, and the British infantry have moved on the right flank in support of their own airborne force. And now it's the Germans doing it. The Germans have been firing in good order and are now back in position with their machine guns back, which they can now use very effectively in defence. What they need is a bit more help, something a bit heavier. Did I say heavier? 125 pounds now. Or 3 times 25 pounds. The American medics bravely going about the work. In fact, on the Western front, the medics on both sides were expected by their opponents. Unlike on the Eastern front, where the German medics carried the pistols for self-defense. And there's the first one, a ranging shot with smoke and marker. One gun has fired the smoke marker. He goes to the target now. For the other gun. This point. Infantry move forward again. German forces making a rather suicidal attack on the left. And now by the half track you can see the American 30 caliber machine gun. Fight with that. No one actually. I'd like forward to consolidate. There's the German officers, well, he's an ugly brute, isn't he? The open country. nearly at the end of August and drive for Paris. The Pat's Third Army and the French. Just in case anybody in the next field's thinking of having a go, the artillery just dropping a few over there. And now as the action comes to an end this afternoon, the Allies just going into mop-up.
He's actually German, and there'll be announcements in German for his parents.
Entschuldigen Sie bitte, mein Deutsch ist nicht gut, aber wir haben ein Deutsch...
Lost Child Tent. Diana Taylor and Carol Booth, please come to the Lost Child Tent. And where's the Lost Child Tent? It's the, altogether, WRVS tent by the main entrance.
Can I ask, please,
People in reenactment groups, we sometimes like, close as we work with the crowd, much as we love to make you feel part of it all, it's very important to that have been here today. Hip hip! Huzzah! Hip hip! Huzzah! Hip hip! Huzzah! And when you do an extra one, it's called a tiger. The high-ups, as they were known in Napoleonic times. So they're the ones who've still got nice, clean uniforms.
Because it's about the only thing we need.
This is that's right,
Dignitaries, generals, monarchs, through the ages, they're going to gather at the saluting base here. If I can ask you gentlemen to take shelter by the trees, and then... And indeed, under the canopy, we have a out of historical sequence due to weather problems, I'm afraid, but we're going to do it anyway. Here come the SE5s. Give them a wave as they come through. We have the historical cavalry, and they're just trotting across at the moment. In a minute, come forward by historical era. What a splendid sight, eh? So the cavalry will be moving into position. As the first part of the Grand Parade is the cavalry through the ages. And on the end of the cavalry, something that some of you may have enjoyed seeing a little earlier, the World War I 18-pounder horse artillery gun and crew. And bringing up the rear, our very own Mountain Steward, Mark Selwood, who will make sure everything works. Presenting the Napoleonic period, the 12th Line Dragoons. And then behind them, the dreaded French cuirassiers, the 14th cuirassiers from Holland. World War I cavalry. What they'll do is march along the skyline there, form in line and come forward in review. And already a Roman senator taking his place to take the salute to the Imperial Army. ladies and gentlemen. Well, it's getting exciting now, I hope. The artillery are in position, and now it's going to be time for the infantry. And the infantry, first of all, are represented by the Imperial Romans of the Ermine Street Guard, who already are starting their march towards the saluting base, where the Roman Senate... come together to show you what the might of the Roman army looked like in the 1st century AD. Using appropriately the pines of the Appian Way by Rustiki. Behind the Romans, those brave citizens of many countries that fought to keep themselves free of what they felt was the Roman yoke. Ladies and gentlemen, your appreciation for the Celts of the Silures Iron Age Society. The era of the Vikings, and on the saluting base we have Eric Bloodaxe, the famous Viking warrior, to take the salute for all his Vikings. Ladies and gentlemen, the Vikings and regular chorus. And now their implacable foes, those that defended our shores against raids for centuries. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you'll notice behind the Saxons we have an unusual, forget them, the heavily armoured Norman Knights of Conquest. Please also welcome them. Normans of Conquest shouting for their King Henry.
That's best for you, Nigel. I've had years of playing fucking
As they come forward in column, you can see the differences in armour and equipment. Following behind them, we have 13th century and then 14th century knights. It's a warm please for Wolf and de Klauber from Belgium. And also the Field Archers, please, are recreated by the Paladins of Chivalry. Let's hope it doesn't rain, they'll go rusty. The Range Archery, the sun in splendour there, the Yorkist emblem, a bill block of livery and maintenance. And I hope you saw their battle earlier on, accompanied by ladies. They're noble. More billmen in the 15th century. Now look at that, the shaft of sunlight illuminating their helmets and their armour. What a one.
Coming onto the thing, you can see the top of their pike sticks. It's a rather nice to actually be able to spot in the distance now because they've got a shining top to their pieces.
We have a group of Tudor billmen marching past. You'll notice Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth takes centre front to take the salute of her brave men who would have been those to protect us from the Spanish army. Therefore we have a Tudor monarch watching them march past. the rear, a group you might consider a little unusual by their women's folk. And this is the... And they seem to have an Irish prisoner with them. Oh dear, that's not going to go down too well. With the case tomorrow, we pop along and have a look at the Tudor group's bread oven. Now we've stopped to take music now because we get to the stage in the parade when the fifes and drums speak for themselves. And marching past the caps, Prince Rupert's blue coats, famous royalist infantry, went down fighting the Battle of Naseby, followed by the King's Guard, another famous royalist regiment. You notice the difference there, the musketeers with their very heavy, deadly matchlock muskets, and then the long cicateers and the cavalry whilst reloading. It was common to have what was known as two divisions of musketeers between the pikemen, so if that unit had to swing into line, the muskets would be on each flank and the pike in the middle. That's very much what an understrength regiment in the Civil War would look like, as Civil War regiments could be very small. Now, distinguished career during the Civil War, we're about to see their netly different manoeuvre to the troops marching in column. To do this, they've come down through these parliamentarians, the Fairfax Battalion. The sister regiment is the Marquis of Winchester's regiment, royalist troops that garrison Basing House. And they, as you can see, are wearing quite dark maroon uniforms as opposed to the red coat of the new model army. The red coat that's still worn today outside Buckingham Palace. Now the line breaks and the troops swing into column. Let's listen to those fifes and drums. I have the honour to be a drummer in the Fairfax Battalion. I have to tell you, this brings a lump to my throat. I should be out there with them. I'm commentating. Now, ladies and gentlemen, coming on, we go to the 18th century. First of all, we have the French infantry in their distinctive white coats. They've just passed their French officer. We have the Canadian irregulars, Compagnie de la Marine, the Canadian volunteers that fought alongside their French colleagues in a desperate attempt to save French Canada from the overwhelming rush of red-coated red soldiers. Now you've seen the film The Last of the Mohicans, and you may have concluded the redcoats didn't do much except stand around waiting for Indians to bury hatchets in their head, but that's actually far from the truth. The redcoats were supremely competent and in only a few years conquered the whole of Canada for King George. And it was these French soldiers, outnumbered 10 to 1, that managed to hang on for nearly 4 years, imprisoned by their own government. These soldiers from New France and Old England are brand new. Give them a cheer, ladies and gentlemen. The redcoats of New France and Old England and Late War, the colour flying there before us. And behind the redcoats, some of their other foes, the Jacobites in the Battle of Culloden in 1745. I do hope you caught their show earlier on. 46, oh, I must get my dates right. 1746 there, the brave Jacobites that fell upon the Duke of Cumberland's line, only to be blown away by cannon fire and murderous volley fire at point-blank range. Behind them we have detachments from the American War of Independence. We meet the French, who captured Canada. It was only a few huge distances. The redcoats put up a brave fight for a number of years until the government finally realised it was futile to do so. Redcoats represent the 47th Regiment in America and the Royal Marine Recruiting Party will be making desperate efforts this weekend, well so far, to recruit as many of you as possible into the Royal Navy. But so far, fortunately, I don't think anybody's fallen for the sales pattern. Now we have the British General Staff currently passing a review in front of Viscount Barrington, the British commander, who today led his troops to overwhelming defeat. Ladies and gentlemen, the redcoats of the 1st Battalion. British troops are following on, and they are soldiers of the Napoleonic Association, and like the European Napoleonic Society, formed here by the 1st Battalion, marching just across the hall now, They represent British troops of the Napoleonic period.
Civil War, the Second World War,
Bit of sad news here. Next year there was going to be a big reenactment of the Battle of Waterloo on the battlefield, but because it clashed with a large football match. So ladies and gentlemen, the combined redcoats there, and behind them the riflemen of the Napoleonic. Now something even more unusual. I spoke to you earlier, just before the American Civil War battle, about the Crimean troops that fought the British. That's to say, the Russian troops that found themselves fighting against overwhelming odds. These are Russian troops, and carrying their Russian eagle there, the Tsar, they marched behind the Napoleonic Association. Today they were attached to the Napoleonic Association. Behind the Russians we have the detachment of what a wonderful story. No doubt you'll be delighted to hear that only 3 months later it was these same Yankees, or those that survived Chancellorsville, that decisively defeated the Confederates at Gettysburg. Here we have the combined Union and Confederate Army, made up of the American Civil War Society and the Southern Skirmish Association, marching in their columns and companies, bayonets at the right shoulder shift. Wonderful. Not sure what happened to General Lee. He was supposed to be taking the salute. Got captured by the Union. This to be at a reenactment of Gettysburg last year, where we had 27,000 troops on the field, which is the most awesome spectacle I've ever seen in my life. If you ever get a chance to travel to America, try and look out for their major American Civil War reenactments, and you will simply be amazed. Era of the British Empire and the absolutely splendid die-hard company Yeomanry Band. The die-hards who have just come back from Izandawana, where they did a reenactment with an awful lot of Zulus, which is very brave of them, to represent the British during the ceremony commemorating that famous battle. They're in the white sunbelt, they went all the way to South Africa. How about that? The die-hards. Now behind that we have a detachment of the Great War, British soldiers from the Great War, from the Great War Society I believe, or no sorry, I'm very sorry, the Machine Gunners, British Vickers Machine Gun Society. And you can see them in their superb recreated trench up on the Living History site. Behind them, an unusual group of troops. They are, first of all, the later part of the war when the trench system had resulted in enormous casualties in the Imperial Army. And following them, the Doughboys. Now these are my favourites against Pancho Villa in Mexico, which is a remarkable thing to reenact in Britain, but there we are. They do have a wonderful Model T Ford truck, and I assume because it's not with them that it's conked out again. So if you'd like to see the Model T Ford, do go up to the Doughboy when they descended on Holland. These troops, who today of course captured the paratroopers, did very well. I'm afraid I can't even start to pronounce their names. Behind them, we have British infantry in 1944. I mean, I can't recognise the unit from here. And behind them, another of my favourites, the Civil Defenders, the Home Front. These are the chaps and the lasses who have been here to protect us from old Uncle Adolf if the Germans had ever invaded. Nurses, ARP, and a couple of school kids, and been strong. They've been bombed, they've been blown to bits. So the German infantry, there, the Normandy campaign, the World War II Living History Association. As I said, it was about time it was a bit of fun, so that's why we got our colleagues from the South Nazi Yeomanry Band to play the Yorkshire March, one of the most famous German military marches. to raise their morale after a bit of a battering. Behind them, more troops of the Axis, an unusual unit here, brand new at Kirby Hall, a little group of Italian paratroopers, the Cavalry. They've got a very nice little dugout, and if you want to go and see the Italian side of World War II, now we've got a bit of a traffic jam here as we wait for the troops to come off at the other end. Shortly, we will have one more visitation from Caroline Grace in her Spitfire.
Her husband was killed and he used to have that little two-seater.
Behind the Cavalry, we have our Airborne Reconnaissance Detachment of the World War II Living History Association and the Yorkshire Regiment. And the Spitfire, ladies and gentlemen. How about that? Caroline Grace, the pilot, who took over flying the Spit when her husband was tragically killed in a car crash. Only female pilot to fly a Spit, the only female pilot to own a Spit. And we're very grateful for her coming. Look at that silhouette, look at those elliptical wings, don't you love it? Down they come, final pass the Spitfire, while our colleagues from the Airborne Detachment, the 82nd Airborne march past, and our Russian detachment, look at that Spit. Give it a cheer! There she goes, back to Duxford, avoiding the rain clouds. My goodness me, that was wonderful. And finally, to bring up the rear of the World War II forces, our set up you see there is original World War II equipment. Give her a round of applause. Prepare to fire.
I'll meet you back.
Bring the kingdom down. Time! I heard the voice of David say, Lincoln, your kingdom must come down. Forward! Forward! Forward!
Links.